What's going on, everyone? Brooke Hennig here, founder of High Ticket E-commerce Incubator. Today we have Matteo on. Matteo, why don't you tell the crowd where you're from? Brief intro.
All right, so my name is Matteo, turning 24 in a few weeks. I'm from Montreal, Canada, and I've been with Brooke for uh, around 6 months now.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on. So, why don't you tell the user base or the listeners? So, I know when did you first join the incubator? Was it early last year, Feb, March?
Yeah, so it was early last year, and I was having like a lot of problems getting my whole account set up. I had a lot of bans and stuff like that. So it wasn't until like a few months after I joined that I started running ads and started making sales and all that. But the first few months was like pretty wild for me.
So what's been the most sales you've done in a month, and how has that progression been? Was it like once you got the ad accounts back, was it right away, and it's been consistent since, or has it been consistent growth over time? What does it look like the last 6, 7 months for you?
So like the first month I got ads, we did like 75,000. So that
Damn.
was like my first full month running ads.
Yeah, that's
And then
insane.
after that, it was kind of similar until like the past 2 months where I was like averaging around like 120, 150 a month for the past 2 months because of like Black Friday and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now for this month we're sitting about 100.
Damn.
So it's we're averaging around 100 a month right now.
Awesome stuff, man. That's well, first of all, congratulations. That's you came out of the gates hot, and it sounds like you really kept it going. That's super cool to hear. So
Yeah.
what obviously you're having good results. What do you think the main lever for that is? Do you have like some really good suppliers that some other people might not have? Do you think that you've kind of mastered ads? What exactly do you think are like the main drivers of that success?
I think for me it's pretty much a combination of everything. First off, I'm selling products that they're not super saturated, but there's still some competition, so it's a bit hard to stand out, but they sell. Other than that, I would think I have a pretty nice website to have like a whole email flow, SMS flow, a lot of reviews, stuff like that. So I would think like it's a whole combination of everything that's attributing to my success.
I think you made a good point. Like I think a lot of people when they start and they get into this, like the natural reaction is to kind of try and find this product that nobody in the world has ever sold before. But even me, like a lot of my best selling products were stuff that when there's high demand for something, like you don't really need a big piece of the pie. Like if you sell like 5 to 10 of a certain product a month, when there's like 100,000 people searching for it, it's enough to do very, very well with that product type. So that's cool to hear. Have you have you hired anyone yet, or what? I guess have you hired anyone yet? When did you do that? What does it look like when you've began like delegating and outsourcing things?
So as soon as I started, like early last year, I was pretty much delegating all the product uploads to Fiverr people. Let me just turn off my phone.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much Fiverr people running my store, pretty much putting everything on, but they weren't doing like a really good job, and I was paying quite a bit. So then I ended up hiring a VA just for product upload, and that took place around I would say September. So September, I had pretty much someone part time putting up products, and then we got pretty much increasingly busier over the last few months. So I made her full time, and she's taking care of all my customer service.
Awesome. That's yeah. I think that's the number one most logical thing to get off most people's plate because it's kind of what I call like a maintenance level thing. Like you need to do it, and it's very important for your business to do it well. But when you're doing customer service and answering chats and questions, you're not helping the business grow, right? So I
Well,
think
right
as
now
soon
I'm
as
still doing like more technical stuff. So I'm taking calls, I'm taking live chats. She's
yep,
taking care of all like the customers asking, oh, where's my product, stuff like that. So
that's
we
good.
get we get a lot of those, especially because one of our products we did like 20,000 revenue with it, and it's like $150. So it's
Oh
kind of like
damn.
yeah, so it's kind of like regular drop shipping that we're doing for this one product, but it's going insane. The past like month has been incredible with just that product. It's like there's one of them that's 150, another one that's 250. So
That's
we're doing
super
a
cool.
lot of sales with just that.
I love to hear stuff like that because like I usually tell people focus on stuff that's over $3,000, but I
Yeah.
also always say like for everything I say, there's always going to be an exception, and there
Yeah.
it is. So
I think what yeah, go for it, go for it.
no, go ahead, man.
I think like a good balance is needed with it because if you sell always high end like really high ticket products, you might not get as much volume. But
Hmm.
if you have a nice balance, you're gonna get a bit of sales everywhere. And I have quite a few products, a lot of different price ranges, and I'm pretty much selling pretty much everything on my store. That's is doing pretty good.
With those lower price products, like the one, I have two questions for you. So first, are they standalone items? So what I mean by that is like, I know of other people in the program, and even myself, where I'll sell like $100 item and it'll go a ton, but it's like a cage for a sauna heater. Like it's not the sauna heater, you know. It's like the
Hmm.
complementary item to the other item. Is it like that, or is it actually just something that someone would buy on its own?
No, something someone would buy on its own. Well, we get pretty much everything. We have that. We have a lot of people coming just to buy an item for a bigger item. And we also have just standalone items that are worth like 100, $200 that is doing pretty good on its own.
And are you advertising those the same way, like focusing on the low
Yeah.
funnel campaigns, branded keywords? Have you, because like most people, if they were selling a lower price item, it really depends on how much margin you have. But my gut would tell me PMAX for something lower that you can really push high volume with, because PMAX is very scalable. But it seems to be working just doing the normal campaigns then.
I'm doing T ROAS for pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, two rows is very good as well. I think the main thing with T ROAS is it really, you need a lot of sales volume for it to work. Like if you're selling five items that are $10,000 a month, probably not going to work. But if you're selling high volume
Hmm.
of these lower things, then the algorithm can obviously learn over time, and it can be very effective. So are you doing T ROAS in your shopping as well?
Yeah, so the way I have it set up, I kind of strayed a bit from what you were teaching, but I pretty much set everything the way you set up manual CPC,
Yep.
and then I put T ROAS on the low, medium, and high. So I control everything with just that percentage.
Makes sense. Yeah, I actually did that myself for quite a while. And just by nature of I had so many products, it was too much to go and adjust the bids manually
Mm,
for that many. And I just
yeah.
kept manual CPC on the ones that were like my biggest movers in the low and medium. But I think it's
Mm.
definitely a viable strategy, and especially the more data you get, the better it can go. That's cool to hear, man. Um, so you said you're still doing calls in kind of like sales side of things. You've delegated after sale work. We were chatting a bit before. So when you first started your ecom store, what were you doing? Were you working a job, or what did your life look like at that time?
So when I had started this, so basically I was a busboy at a restaurant, and I was doing appliance repair for a few months. So, but then like I had went to Florida and I didn't have any money coming in. So I really didn't like that feeling. Like I was so like used to working like almost every day and bringing in money. So when I went to Florida, I wasn't having any money coming in. So I was just like standing there. I didn't know what to do. So I ended up seeing your program on Twitter, and I had tried other things before, like high ticket sales, stuff like that. So I tried other things, but it didn't really resonate with me. But your program, like right off the bat, it kind of resonated with me, and I did your free course. So I had pretty much set up my whole store before I had joined the program. So then once my website was ready to go, I had joined your program, and during that time, while I was building my site, I was working construction. Yeah, I had dropped everything else, and I was just working construction. So I was doing construction full time. If you never work construction, like you're doing more than 8 hours a day, you're on field. Like I'm taking calls, I'm doing all these things, making sure that the company's going good. I'm like hiding in the back, making sure the clients are happy. They don't hear all the drilling and the stuff in the back. So yeah, it was pretty much a wild ride the whole first part of building the store. But the past few months, I had said, okay, I'm done with construction. I'm just gonna focus on this. And right now I'm focusing on my mom's store, and she's not doing this. She's building like her own products and stuff like that. So I'm helping her
Cool.
build that and doing this pretty much full time now.
That's super cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience when I was starting mine at first. I wasn't working construction, but I was in law school. So I would like be running out in the middle of class to like take customer calls. I remember I even had like an exam one time. The exam was like 4 hours and I was taking like sales calls during the exams. I would take calls at parties in the bathroom, all sorts of stuff. But you gotta do what it takes. And I think those are kind of
Yeah.
cool things to look back on when you're getting started because um, when you're getting started and you're trying to really make it work, it's kind of all on you, and just doing crazy shit that most people would laugh at is kind of feel good things to look back on, and that's super
Yeah.
cool to hear about your mom building a store with her because obviously even though we're dropshipping, a lot of cross transferable skills that maybe one day you could do your own brand, you can help your mom. That's very cool. So I know before the call we were chatting briefly, you are going away for a few months. So why don't you tell the listeners kind of what your plan is? And I'd also be curious to hear, since you are still doing the sales call side of things, how do you plan to manage that with the time change?
So I'm headed to Thailand for the next 3 months just to train and to work. Uh, I'm just gonna manage, honestly. Maybe I'm gonna delegate a bit more to my VA. Maybe I'm gonna hire someone else for product uploads because do have a lot of customer service activity going on. So she doesn't really, we're kind of lacking a bit with the product upload. So I might just hire someone else. I'm gonna have to manage. I'm gonna figure it out while I'm there. And if I have to take calls while I'm sleeping, I'm gonna take calls while I'm sleeping.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Um, what's your plan for the store longer term? So is it something that you want to just keep building up? Are you going to try and eventually start putting SEO time and money into SEO if you haven't yet? Or are you just going to keep adding new brands? What's kind of like your longer term vision on, let's say, like a 2 or 3 year time frame?
Well, right now I don't have any plans on selling it. I do think like if you go the building a brand route, it is a bit more fruitful in the end instead of just like picking a niche and just trying to sell it. If you're gonna build a brand, I feel like you can sell your own products later down the line. I don't really have plans for that right now, but later on the line, if I decide to keep it around, I'm probably gonna start selling my own products and SEO is gonna be coming up in the next few months. And I don't have any plans on selling it right at the moment.
Yeah, that sounds very similar to me. Like when I got started, I didn't have any plans to do my own brand at all. And then over time, like you're as you already are, you're going to start building skills. Your skill set's going to improve. You're going to get more comfortable. And I think there's kind of two directions you can go. Like you can build a high ticket dropshipping store into a 8 or 9 figure store, like they exist. But a lot of like I think to go from that like I think the highest, or I don't want to say the highest, but I think where you start capping out on the drop shipping strictly relying on ads is like 50K profit, I would say. It's probably hard to get a lot higher than that using strictly ads, but you can get exponentially higher than that by using email lists and SEO. So if you really master those things and you have thousands of free visitors coming to your website every month and you have a big email list with like 50 to 100,000 or more people, then you're like a Shop Solar Kits doing 70 million a year or a Fire Pitch Direct that are all drop shipping stores. But that's really focused on the SEO and the email list side of things. Then the other route is so that's one way you can go. The other route is to launch your own brand. And the benefit of your own brand is instead of getting 25-30% margins, you'll get 60 or 70, but you don't have the branded demand, you don't have the existing brand name. So it is more of an uphill battle to fight, but once you've built those skills, like I would never recommend any person just go start a brand on day one. I think like the best place to start for any person, no matter which direction you're going to go, is with the dropshipping route because you have very little risk. It really allows you to build up your skills, and then you can kind of pick which direction you want to go. So it sounds like you're still kind of in that skill building process, but I think in the next year or two, exactly what you want to do will become clear. Like I think just focus on continuously improving your skills, your skill set, and it'll clear up when the time's right. So you mentioned you don't have any plans to sell the store specifically. Would you open a second store, or do you think that you're just going to focus on kind of one?
My brother was about to open, well, he was in the middle of opening up his own store and he was doing it. He was almost pretty much completely built up. He had suppliers and all that. So then I told him, listen, like it's better we just focus on this. We grow it as much as we can. And then if we're ready, Once we're ready, then we could open up a new store. But I feel like the return on just putting all your energy in on one thing will kind of surmount building two stores, in my opinion.
I completely agree. It's like very common question. People will come in and join the program and say, I have two ideas. Should I do both? And my answer is always no. Like building a business and building a successful business is hard as it is. And if you're trying to do a hard thing, like why would you put 50% of your time and effort into it? Because then you're just going to like, it's not like you're increasing your chances of success. You're actually decreasing the chances of both of them succeeding. Like if you put all your time, all your focus, all your energy into one thing, that's the best chance you can give yourself to do really well. I completely agree. Um, cool, man. Last question. So obviously you started off with the free course and then you went into the program. What role has the program played in your success? Is there anything that you feel you really took value from the program, or do you think just overall having the support throughout the process? What do you think were like the biggest needle movers that the program played for you?
For me, it was honestly the accountability. So having a coach, like seeing, okay, like where are you at? Like what's going on? Is there any bottlenecks? Anything we can help you with? So there's always someone there that's kind of like holding your hand, making sure everything is going smoothly. If there's ever a problem, then they're very fast to like trying to help you solve it. For me, it was the ads that were a bit confusing at first, like pretty much just making sure I'm in profit, making sure I'm not overspending. But I would just reach out and I would have an ads audit, and then they would tell me, okay, listen, you're overspending here. This is doing okay. They would make me build a ROAS sheet. So that like little things, little cues like that just helped me overall like kind of get a better understanding of it. So the past few months I haven't been in the program, but the things that they taught me kind of like they're still with me and I still use them. But I mean, that's not to say I'm not gonna rejoin the program at a later date.
100%, man. That's awesome to hear. And I think for any listeners, I think that's kind of like the goal of the program as well. Like obviously, our goal is to turn you into a successful business owner when you join. So if you're able to do what Mateo's done and come in, take a bunch of value, and then go successfully run your business outside of the program, that's what we want. That just means the program's done its job. And obviously down the line, if you need more help on other skill sets that you haven't had time to develop yet, like SEO, or you want more feedback on scaling your ads, whatever it is, you can always rejoin at a later time. But you've already proven to yourself that you're capable of running this and building it on your own, which is very exciting for me to see. But thanks a lot for coming on, man. Very, very happy to have you. Happy to see your success. Congratulations on it. Excellent work. Any final words, or should we cut it?
I mean, if you're gonna do this, then like really put your effort in it. It's not easy. Like a lot of people think like it's a get rich quick kind of scheme. It's really not. You have to put a lot of effort in, and if you're willing to do that, if you're really willing to go the extra mile, then it's for you. But if you don't have a business mindset, it's not gonna work. If you have a business mindset, it's gonna work regardless of what niche you're in. So that's just one thing to keep in mind before joining this.
I completely agree. Yeah, I think for whatever reason, other programs, other stuff online, a lot of people want the get rich quick scheme. I think that's what they're looking for, the quick success. But I think when you have that mindset that you're talking about, the business mindset, when you actually start and you start putting your time and effort into something like this, I think it's actually a lot more exciting having to overcome these challenges. Because if it was just easy and just like handed to you on a silver platter, sure, you might make some money, but you're probably not going to feel very fulfilled, and you're probably not going to feel very accomplished. The most rewarding feeling is doing the hard thing and seeing it through when you see so many other people just give up and fail. Because that's how you build the confidence, when you see yourself do things that other people can't. It's definitely, like you said, it's not a get rich quick scheme, but I completely agree with you. If you come in, if you're serious about it, if you treat it like a real business, which it is, and put the work in, you can 100% succeed. But you have to have that mindset and that mentality. But thanks a lot for coming on, man. I'll end the interview now. But again, congratulations.
Thank you, Brooke.